Hello, amazing students. Welcome to English with Sophie. You know your grammar. You can write emails without mistakes. Yet when you speak, something still sounds off. Native speakers understand you, but they pause before responding. Your pronunciation feels robotic, like you're reading from a textbook. I filmed a student last week reading a perfect English sentence. I am going to the store to buy some bread. Every word was correct. Every sound was clear, but it sounded completely unnatural. She stressed every single word equally, like a robot delivering a message. What if I told you the secret isn't what you know, it's what you don't pronounce? What if native speakers are hiding something from you? They are, and you're about to discover it. Most English learners think all words are equal. You probably learned that every word deserves clear pronunciation. Your teachers told you to speak slowly and carefully. That works for beginners, but native speakers rarely pronounce every word fully. They cheat. They use something called weak forms. These are unstressed words that reduce to softer sounds. The word and becomes just N in fast speech. To becomes ta or even t. These aren't mistakes. This is how English actually works. Weak forms are the invisible glue holding native speech together. Without them, you sound like you're translating word by word. With them, you sound fluent. And there's one group of words where this trick is most powerful. Prepositions and auxiliary verbs. These are the most common weak form words in English. Words like to, of, for, at, can, and will. Learners overpronounce them constantly. You say I want to go with a strong to sound. Natives say I want to go with barely any vowel sound. You say a cup of tea pronouncing UV. Natives say a cup of tea. Listen to the difference. The robotic version, I am going to the store for some bread. The native version, I'm going to the store for some bread. Can you hear how the prepositions almost disappear? They become whispers. But some of these words hide an even sneakier secret that changes everything. Native speakers link words together. Weak forms allow fluent word linking. Your textbook taught you to pause between words, but real English flows like water. I want to go becomes I want to go. The want and to merge together. Going to becomes gonna. The weak form of to disappears entirely, replaced by na. This isn't slang. This is standard spoken English. Even news reporters use these reductions. I have to leave becomes I have to leave. The have weakens and to almost vanishes. Your sentences should glide, not march. Each word shouldn't stand alone like a soldier. They should dance together like partners. And what if I told you some words almost disappear completely when spoken fast? The invisible words, prepositions like and, of, and to can almost vanish in rapid speech. I recorded a native speaker saying I went to the store, but it sounded like I went to store. The to became just a tiny t sound. The lost its vowel entirely, becoming th. Another example, fish and chips. Natives don't say fish and chips. They say fish and chips. The and becomes just the letter N. Try this sentence. I bought a bag of apples. Most learners say every word clearly. I bought a bag of apples. But natives reduce it. I bought a bag of apples. The of becomes the schwa sound. Next, we'll reveal the sneakiest verbs that hide in your sentences. Auxiliary verbs disappear constantly. Do you say I am going fully? Most learners do. They pronounce I am going with strong stress on am. But natives reduce it completely. I'm going. The am contracts to just m, even the g in going disappears in casual speech. Here's another, she is coming tomorrow. Learners say she is coming. Natives say she's coming. The auxiliary verb becomes just an s sound attached to she. We are ready becomes we're ready. They will arrive soon becomes they'll arrive soon. The auxiliary verb shrinks to almost nothing. It's still there, but whispered. The content words going, coming, ready, arrive stay strong. But what about questions? That's where the real trap lies. Questions sound overpronounced when learners speak them. You ask, do you want to go? With full pronunciation of every word, natives reduce everything. Do you becomes dia or even jaya. Want to becomes wanna. The full question sounds like, Jaya wanna go. Another example, are you coming? Becomes ya common. The R disappears entirely. Did you see that? Becomes Jaya see that. Or did you see that? The auxiliary verb did and pronoun you merge into one sound. This isn't lazy speech. This is the natural rhythm of English questions. When you pronounce every word in a question fully, you sound formal and stiff. And this trick isn't just for questions, it works for negatives too. The negative twist, saying do not fully breaks the natural flow of English. Natives contract it to don't. But even don't gets reduced further in fast speech. I don't know becomes I done know or even I dunno. The T disappears. Cannot becomes can't, but spoken quickly it sounds like can. With barely any T, I can't believe it sounds like I can believe it. Will not becomes won't, and in rapid speech, I won't go sounds like I won't go. The negative contraction is already a weak form, but it weakens even more when unstressed. Your negatives should flow smoothly, not punch every consonant. Now let's escalate. Some words change completely when unstressed. Words that mutate. Some prepositions don't just shorten, they transform entirely. The word for isn't pronounced FOR in normal speech. It becomes FA or FR with barely any vowel. This is for you sounds like this is FRU. The word of changes from UV to or ev. Cup of tea becomes cup of tea. Out of time becomes out of time. The of merges completely with out. The word at loses its vowel. Look at that becomes looked at. These aren't accidents. Native speakers are trained from childhood to reduce these sounds. If you pronounce them fully, you're speaking English with an accent, not a foreign accent, but a textbook accent. And there's one verb that's the ultimate weak form ninja. The verb have is the ultimate weak form ninja. It disappears in so many ways. I have seen that movie becomes I've seen that movie. But it reduces even further. I've seen sounds like I seen. The have almost vanishes. We have been waiting becomes we've been waiting, then we've been waiting. They have finished becomes they've finished, pronounced they finished. In questions, have weakens too. Have you eaten? Becomes v you eaten, or even just you eaten, in casual speech. The word have is one of the most reduced words in English. If you pronounce it fully every time, you'll sound like you're translating from another language. But verbs aren't the only thing changing. The rhythm of your sentences is next. Stress patterns reveal the secret. English isn't like many other languages. You can't stress every word equally. If you do, your sentences sound choppy and unnatural. Native speakers stress content words, nouns, main verbs, adjectives, adverbs. They reduce function words, prepositions, articles, auxiliary verbs, pronouns. Listen, I'm going to the store to buy some bread. The capital words are stressed. The others, I'm to, the, to, some are whispered. This creates a rhythm like a drum beat. Stressed words are the beats. Weak forms fill the space between beats. Without this rhythm, English sounds flat and robotic. The weak forms on unstressed words create smooth sentence rhythm. And rhythm isn't just about sound, it's about meaning. Weak forms change meaning. If you stress the wrong words, you confuse listeners. I want a cup of tea should reduce of to a. If you say, I want a cup of tea with strong stress on of, it sounds strange. You're emphasizing something unimportant. Native speakers will wonder why you're stressing of. Another example, I'm going to go versus I'm gonna go. The first sounds formal or emphatic. The second sounds natural and casual. If you use strong forms when weak forms are expected, you sound overly formal or even angry. I do not know sounds angry. I don't know sounds normal. The weak form softens your message. Next, we'll show a trick native speakers use to sound fast without losing clarity. Gliding through sentences. Learners speak word by word with tiny pauses between each one. Natives glide from word to word without stopping. I'm going to the store isn't 5 separate words, it's one smooth phrase. I'm gonna store. The weak forms connect everything. I wanna eat becomes I wanna eat. She is coming over becomes she's coming over. There are no gaps between words. Your mouth keeps moving and sounds blend together. This is called connected speech. The weak forms make this possible. If every word stayed strong, you couldn't glide. You'd have to pause and stress each one. Gliding makes you sound fluent and natural. But there's a hidden pattern in weak forms you've never noticed. Patterns of weak forms. Weak forms aren't random. They follow clear rules. Function words reduce. These include articles of the, prepositions to, of, for, at, auxiliary verbs am, is, are, have, will, can, and pronouns I, you, he, she. Content words stay strong. These include nouns, store, bread, tea, main verbs, go, buy, eat, adjectives, big, happy, red, and adverbs, quickly, often, always. When you build a sentence, stress the content words. Reduce the function words. I'm going to the store to buy some bread. The pattern is clear. Weak, strong, weak, weak, strong, weak, strong, weak, strong. This pattern creates the music of English. Without it, your English sounds monotone. And what if some words break the rules entirely? Rule breakers. Some words should be weak, but sometimes they stay strong for emphasis. The word but is usually weak. I like tea but not coffee. The but is unstressed. However, if you want to emphasize contrast, you can stress it. I like tea but not coffee. The stress changes the meaning. Or is usually weak. Do you want tea or coffee? But if you're offering a strong choice, you might stress it. It's now or never. The word yet can be weak or strong depending on meaning. These exceptions prove the rule. Most function words reduce, but you can stress them for emphasis. Just don't stress them all the time, or you'll sound unnatural. Now, let's combine everything into full phrases. This is where it gets tricky. Sentences that flow. Reducing individual words is easy, but combining weak forms in full sentences is challenging. Let's practice. I don't want to go to the store. Learner pronunciation. I do not want to go to the store. Every word is clear and stressed. Native pronunciation. I done want to go to a store. The do not becomes done. The want to becomes wanna. The first to becomes ta. The becomes th. The sentence flows as one smooth unit. Another example, she is going to have to leave soon. Learner, she is going to have to leave soon. Native, she's gonna have to leave soon. The reductions pile up, but the sentence is perfectly clear. Next, we'll push this even further with speed. Speed secrets. Fast speech terrifies learners. When natives speak quickly, it sounds like gibberish. But they're not speaking faster, they're using more weak forms. The trick is, weak forms plus rhythm plus linking equals natural speed without losing clarity. I'm going to have to go to the bank to get some money. At normal speed with weak forms, I'm gonna have to go to th bank to get us money. It sounds fast, but every word is there. The weak forms compress the sentence. You're not speaking faster, you're speaking more efficiently. Your mouth does less work on unimportant words, saving energy for the important ones. This is the secret to sounding fluent. And now, the big reveals that will instantly make you sound like a native speaker. The 3 biggest weak form secrets. First secret, have disappears in perfect tenses. I have been there becomes I've been there, or even I've been there in very casual speech. Second secret, to vanishes in infinitives. I want to go becomes I want to go. I have to leave becomes I have to leave. I'm going to call becomes I'm gonna call. Third secret, and becomes invisible. Bread and butter becomes bread and butter. Fish and chips becomes fish and chips. These 3 weak forms appear in almost every conversation. If you master them, you'll sound dramatically more natural. Real-life example. I've been wanting to go and see that movie. Native. I've been wanting to go and see that movie. And the final secret will blow your mind. The magic of connected speech. Even strong learners don't realize how everything links together. Words don't exist in isolation. They live in phrases. The weak forms are the bridges between strong words. I'm going to have to ask you to leave sounds like one long word when spoken naturally. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. Every weak form connects to the next sound. The to in going to links to have. The you reduces to ya and links to. The sentence flows like a river. No pauses. No gaps, just smooth, continuous sound. This is the essence of native English. Not perfect pronunciation of individual words, but perfect connection between them. Last chapter. One trick that transforms your English instantly. The native speaker transformation. Many learners think they can't fully sound native, but that's not true. The final combined technique, weak forms plus linking plus rhythm plus glide. Take this complex sentence. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it to the party because I have to work late. Learner version sounds robotic. Native version, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it to party because I have to work late. Every weak form is in place. The rhythm stresses no, gonna, able, make, party, have to, work, and late. Everything else reduces. The sentence glides smoothly. Now go practice this, and no one will guess English isn't your first language.